Or is it my brain is just not up to the task?
Now I see the live on custom live streaming service, so I
Working
think
on it.
we're good. I didn't see that last time.
Fresh. We're working on it right
Ladies and gentlemen, take two.
now. Hey, we're here.
Yeah, it's looking much better now. You know, there's so many buttons to hit when you're doing multicasting,
Too
and
many. Too many.
Too many.
if you look at the color of this hair, it just means there's going to be a little trauma involved.
There we are.
Welcome, take two. Welcome to our live stream, the ladies of Guitar Cloud Symposium. If you're not familiar with what that is, it is an online symposium we launched in August. And we had such a damn good time, we're going to do it every other month for the rest of our lives.
Why not?
It's so cool. It is a symposium that is 18 hours, and we have 24 different subject modules, all kinds of cool sponsor giveaways. In fact, the newest one that joined today is we're going to give away a Tonewood amp.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. I know people get way more for their money. It's just crazy. Fishman's giving away tuners. We got all kinds of stuff I'll get to at the end. But before I get to all that, let me introduce you. Coming back for a second round, Vicki Genfan.
Hey, everybody.
She's a magical acoustic tapper, singer, songwriter that I met years ago at a NAMM show, and I was so enamored with her playing. We just became friends that day, and ended up recording together, touring together. We did the Czech Republic a couple times. We went around America in my little motorhome. What is that? Oh, I made that for you in my glass era. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get obsessed with these visual arts. I got into glass for 3 years straight. Like every morning I'd wake up and go to the kiln. What did I cook? Oh, it's so cool. What's next? I always have designs flowing around my head. Then I got into steampunk art and always cycling back to music, thankfully. And new coming in with us is Angela Petrilli,
Everybody, how's it going? Happy to be here.
the Groove Mistress. I've seen a bunch of videos of you, and it's so cool. You're just so relaxed sitting down there, whether you're doing Hendrix or grabbing a Martin guitar. It's always inspiring stuff.
Thank you
I will
very
say,
much.
when we launched, we had Neely Brush. She will be back with us at some point, but she's doing a really cool secret recording project, which we can't reveal yet. Shh, where's the duct tape for my mouth? And Gretchen Menn, of course, which she's been touring for years with a Led Zeppelin tribute band called Zepparella, which I had the privilege of seeing. I toured with Neely and Gretchen last year, and it was a load of fun. Gretchen's got several records out, and there's one. If you haven't seen the sizzle reel of Guitar Cloud Symposium, you can go to YouTube and look at my channel and have a look. And she's got a tune in there called Savages that is just like the title. It is so badass. It sounds like Alan Holdsworth, and the tone is supreme. Anyway, she will be joining us next week on a live stream. Now, introducing Angela Petrilli. Tell them about what you were doing today at Norm's Rare Guitars.
Yes. So it is, those of you who aren't familiar with Norman's Rare Guitars, it is an absolutely awesome, world famous guitar shop located in the Valley in Los Angeles. And Norman Harris, who runs the shop, is just a lovely, lovely man. He's like family to me. Everybody over there. They have some of the most incredible instruments go through that place. I have my own segment on their YouTube channel. It's called Patrilli Picks. And I go in there and I am so incredibly thankful enough to pinch myself that Norm lets me play these incredibly awesome, expensive, and rare guitars anytime I want. And it's just a blast. And on my little show that I do there, I ask, I'm like, okay, what's cool that came in today and what can I play? And just go in there and do it. I played a really, really beautiful 65 Martin today, and a couple strats that were pretty awesome too. But it's a
I
great
know
place.
that
I
look
love
of
it.
love. That look of love. You look like you are enamored.
Yeah, it's great. I have to pinch myself every time I go. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Very honored that they let me play those instruments. So it's great. It's great. It's a blast. So
Yeah.
Kid in a candy store. I bet they have to check your pockets on the way out.
yeah, I just leave my wallet in the car. So that's
One
what
of the
happens.
One of the things you're going to be teaching when you join us this time, October 16th, is slide guitar, which is
Yes.
so cool. And there's a reason you got into slide guitar that wasn't just, I like slide guitar.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So how this happened? I used to be used to crack my knuckles like this and pull them like this. Bad habit. I don't do it anymore. We would pull it this way. And one day I pulled a little too hard and heard like a click, and like, oh, this is bad. And my fingers swelled up, and I couldn't even bend it. It was awful. So I go to my guitar teacher and I go, listen, I can't bend my finger, probably not for another month. I go, I really want to learn how to play slide because I can't not play. I can't not play for a month. It's not going to happen. So, I mean, folks like Dwayne Allman and Bonnie Raitt and Derek Trucks are some of my favorite guitar players who happen to play slide. I'm like, all right, let's kind of get on board with that. And then from there, heard Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson and all those folks. It was a really good, I guess it was a blessing and a curse that, I happened to do that to myself, and then was led to all this really beautiful music. And then playing slide is a ton of fun, and I'm really, really looking forward to teaching it on the 16th. So
Yeah, buddy. I love all those players you were talking about as well. And it reminds me of Derek Trucks has a tune. I can't pronounce the title because it's a Pakistani.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That song's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, Middle Eastern, amazing, amazing stuff. In
I
fact,
don't know how he remembers how to play all that stuff. I'm serious. Like, I'm like, man, I don't know if I could do that. You remember like 10 minutes of this song. It's crazy. Crazy.
That's a tune that I sent to Jeff Beck, and his response was, I wish I had done that. It's that good. Some of those songs that just rise to the top and you go, oh my God. All right. You outdid yourself.
What is it?
It's, I'm going to butcher everything. It's actually a song that was originally out by a Pakistani singer. So it's his guitar version of a vocal song.
Let me find the title right now. I'm going to get back to you, ladies.
I'll give you $10.
Now it's going to bug me really bad.
Angela, I'll give you $10 if you can pronounce it once you find it.
All right. Sahib Taribandi.
Oh, it's not that difficult, right?
Not too bad. Maki Mandi, yeah. Madni, yeah. Great tune. Great tune.
A link or put a link.
I'm gonna do that right here. Where's my? There we go.
Incredible.
Well, I'm real excited about slide guitar because I suck at it. And because I suck at it, I put my energy into the tremolo bar and the whammy pedal.
Right.
I use them simultaneously, and that's one of the 6 modules that I'm going to be doing, along with talking about brain science, kind of a foundational talk on the Saturday morning of the 4 days, telling you about the optimal way to learn. Because it's funny that you spend your whole life going through school, and the teachers will send you home with an assignment, but they don't tell you how to learn. It's just, here's the stuff, know it tomorrow. And there's a few tricks that I can turn people onto that'll make it a little easier to get through more material in more efficient time.
Very cool. Love that.
Yeah. And then Vicki, tell them about some of the magic you are going to pull out of your hat.
Well, I'm kind of a open tuning fanatic, I guess you could say. Over the years, I've collected about 37, 38 tunings. And the tunings themselves lend themselves really beautifully to many percussive techniques. Body percussion on the guitar, harmonics in various ways, tapping harmonics. And so I've developed a really rhythmic style that incorporates open tunings and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be teaching 2 modules to cover that stuff. So I'll be teaching an intro to open tuning module, just kind of get you give you a way to orient yourself, like, hey, it's not that foreign. Here's an open tuning. Here's some chords. Here's some really cool things to do. Simple. You can play a million songs if you know 4 or 5 chords, or even 3 chords, or even 2 chords. So intro to open tuning, and then I'll do a module on actual percussive techniques, which you can also do in standard tuning. And most of what I'll teach will apply to acoustic guitar and electric guitar. And I've got something called rep busting that I really like to present, which is just an ultra cool, challenging way to literally get out of the ruts that you've been in. You're playing ruts, you know. What do you normally do? Let's do something different. And all of this stuff kind of opens up these channels where new stuff seems to come in from the universe, I think. It's just waiting there. It's waiting there for us to open up, you know. So a lot of what I teach are ways for us to open up to that kind of new thing, channeling your own voice. Yeah, that's some of what I'll be teaching. There's more too, but that's some of it.
Yeah, there is a field of thought that your creativity is actually downloads from the ethers. You know, when you get into that calm space and you're not focused on stressing about this or that, and I find I get into that if I just start jamming along with a track for 20 minutes or so. You play through all the stuff you normally play, and then all of a sudden the vortex will open up and you get this creative flow that can domino into God only knows what. But then it starts to domino, and yeah, you end up writing a tune or at least having a damn good time, which is what we want to do in the Guitar Cloud Symposium. We start on a Friday, and that's an orientation and getting to know people. And we might have some special guests dropping in. Just got an email about that today. And it's so cool. We get people from around the world. This poor girl from New Zealand, we started at 4 o'clock in the morning for her.
Oh, man.
And she's coming back, right?
Yeah, she is. I wrote to her and I go, "You're a glutton for punishment." And her response was, "It's just that good." Okay, well, you can sleep when you're dead, they say. And, some people from Mexico, Mexico City, and from Holland. It is so cool because we've all been traveling around the world for so long. We have friends in just about every country on earth.
Yeah.
So why not? The only thing that's the hiccup is the time zone. And then on the Saturday, Sunday, each of us has 3 modules that we do that are 20 minutes each, that are things that we love, that we're passionate about teaching and want to share. So we go 20, 20, 20, that's an hour. For me, there's a Q&A period right after that. And I get into virtual jams as well, which that's a whole other that's a whole other science with this lockdown. But it worked. I just tried it as an experiment last time, and it worked. Some of the others will do the Q&As right after their modules, which makes more sense. But it hurts my head to try to keep the time straight so I don't run over. And then on the Monday was so fun because, you know, you're focused and doing this thing, hours and hours. And Vicki wonderfully added a body movement segment that, you know, you can't sit in a chair for 6 hours and expect your brain to be in optimal form. So she gets you up and moving with, you want to tell them about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm a practicer of Qigong and yoga and something called brain gym. All those things kind of work together to open back the channels of energy and blood flow and, you know, kind of unkink our bodies. So we'll take 15 minutes in the middle of the day, and I pull together different exercises from those 3 sources. And I just put together kind of specific little routines that I think will really address the kinds of things that we're dealing with as guitarists. You know, this whole upper body thing. I grew up hunched over my instrument, couldn't walk after I would play for 20 minutes, you know, so trying to focus in on what we need for being guitarists and also for sitting throughout the day. So those are really fun breaks.
That's a magical addition to all that everybody gets. I found that really, really useful because Yeah, I think all musicians do this, where you really get into what you're doing, and then it's next Tuesday, and you haven't gotten out of your seat. You know,
You can't walk. Right.
you can't walk. Yeah.
Totally. And good posture is such an important thing. And that's something I mention in all of my lessons too, with all of my students, because you see so many videos of folks, hunched over. You watch people. It's like, actually, gosh, you get so much more control with your instrument when your posture is nice and tall and good and strong. And again, like to your point, it opens up, your chest, and it's all good things.
Yeah.
All good things.
That just reminds me of an article I read. There was an interview with Billy Sheehan, I think back when he was with Tallis, or maybe it was Mr. Big. And he said literally he had a rib that was permanently out of place from all the time he put in practicing bass.
Oh.
And that's something I noticed when I first got the Michael Jackson tour. I had a guitar on my back so many hours every day that at some point I started feeling like I didn't have 100% control of my hands. And what was happening is I was getting really knotted up in my shoulders. And so since then, I started a pretty regular habit of getting massage. When I'm home, I get it once a week just to break out that nastiness in the shoulder and keep the flow going. We got a couple people checking in. Joby Rogers does a great Michael Jackson tribute show, and he's a journalist. Welcome, sir. Kelly Burgos Harper, thank you, madam, for joining in. Janet Robin, badass guitar player. We've done some of the same venues in Europe. And Frank Johnson's coming in from Vancouver, Canada. Anybody that has questions about anything guitar or questions about the symposium coming up, feel free to write in the chat and we will get to you. Andrew Matthews. Andrew now, 17-year-old Andrew is a super addict. Yeah, buddy. He won Thomas Blug's Amp 1. That was a hell of a giveaway. People that aren't familiar with the amp, it's analog, which most people think it's digital because it's small. It's under 3 pounds, has 4 channels, 100 watts, MIDI capable. It is a phenom. And I ended up at Thomas's house when he just came out with the prototype of that, and I lost my mind. And I'm always, when I travel, I'm always horrified at how much everything weighs. And I'm always thinking there's got to be something I can leave at home. What can I leave at home and still have a good time playing? And usually the answer was nothing. So when he came up with that amp, I go, oh man, this is it. And he actually travels not only with his amp, but with one of his, he calls it a nano cab, the smallest of his 12-inch cabs. And he'll put the cab in a suitcase, because all he wears is jeans and a t-shirt, so that makes it super simple. So Andrew, you lucked out, and I know you're having a good time with it because you keep posting new songs every day. You are a perfect candidate for lockdown for sure. Yeah.
All right. I think we got some questions coming in down here.
Good. Nikki O'Neill.
Vicki.
Girl, you might end up in this symposium one day. I see you're writing books and very active online during lockdown. You can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from you. Here we go. I'm going to need my monocle for this one. No, actually, I have a TV over here. He's using it all the time now. See, now Andrew is one of these kids. I'm jealous because I never played a live gig until I was 21, 22, because my mother wouldn't go let me play with strangers at night, which is like a good mother, but it felt like it kind of set me back a little bit as far as getting stage playing happening. But he's been carrying super heavy amps. In fact, he came, his first lesson with me at 5 Star Guitars over in Beaverton. He brought a ridiculous rig ready to play an arena because that was his sound. He wanted to have his sound. But now your chiropractor will thank me, Andrew.
Hey, listen, let's talk a little bit about levels. Julie wants to know about if a beginner or medium level person could fit into the symposium curriculum.
Yeah, we were trying to make it so it could be anywhere from beginners to advanced. But honestly, I think you really have had to spend some time with the guitar enough that you know basic chords, first position chords, you know the names of the strings, you know how to hold a pick. So beyond that, you will learn a lot. I will say that I went to a guitar symposium way back, decades ago, when Musicians Institute was looking for students when they first fired up. And I was in their third class they ever had. But this symposium that I went to was all jazz players. And the information was like flying over my head at 100 miles an hour. I didn't understand most of it. And I took a test to get in because I was so intrigued with everything. I wanted to take my guitar playing to the next level. And I flunked the test to get in. Because although I had been playing since I was 8 years old and I knew a bunch of techniques and songs, I didn't know chord scales. I didn't know diatonic scales. I jammed with B.B. King records and I had my blues scales together. But, you know, wherever you're at, everybody is at different levels in different subjects. Like you might be great with chords and your single line playing is down here, but as long as you spend some time with the guitar every day, everything's going to be headed. You can't help but get better.
You're going to learn. You're going to learn.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think each one of us are doing some modules that aren't necessarily technique based. You want to talk? I mean, I know for me, I'm doing something called whole body rhythm, which we do without instruments, which is just a way of integrating movement and clapping and sound to get our body really integrated from the inside out. That's something everybody could learn from. I'm talking also about practice routines and visions and goals. That's something anyone can learn from and gain from. And so, what about you? What about you, ladies?
And I'm teaching, you know, how to build your brand on social media. So, you know, you have your sound as a player and it's like, okay, how can I build and post videos and how to be as productive as possible while still being creative. So those sorts of things. Like it's my little TED talk. Like I made sure I had 2 of those at least in the symposium.
Yeah.
You know, because that's an important side of, you know, musicianship today and being a musician is okay, your online presence and thinking about that and using that as a tool. Like it's fantastic. Things like Facebook and, you know, Instagram and YouTube, you think of them as visual and audio resumes. You know, so making sure you're like up to date on these things and to me, I think it's a really important thing. That's why I included it in part of the curriculum for the symposium in October. But yeah, I mean, there's good stuff for everybody. And again, you know, to your point, you know, Jennifer was saying, okay, you know, all of us are at different levels. You know, someone might be a great solo player. It's like, geez, I want to get better at rhythm playing. It's like, all right, Vicki's got you covered. Like, here's some things to think about. You know, so there's something for everybody.
The cool thing about this, with 24 modules, it's like a smorgasbord. You know, there's so much, and so many different tastes. Somebody might resonate with something that's brand new for them. Like if you've never worked with a tremolo bar before, I'll show you how to get started and not sound like a nervous surfer. You know, because I've taught enough people that are just starting that I just go, no, don't do that. Do it like this. And I'm going to try to have a couple different cameras so you can see right up close exactly how my hand is on the bar and when I use it. I have a lot of musical examples that you can take from. There's a couple questions here. Any performances you wish you could have a do-over? Wow.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't think you're ever going to find a musician that says, no, they were all perfect.
Oh my God. Could we be here all night? I have plenty of stories.
Yeah, you know, when I was on tour, somebody interviewed me and it was I think on Michael Jackson's Bad Tour, and they were asking if we played perfectly every night. And I said, you know, we're human. Everybody makes mistakes. And he said he had talked to Frank Zappa a month prior, and Zappa said, no, they never make mistakes. And I'm going, and you bought that.
So something he would say too.
It is. And you know, it builds the mystique of, oh my God. I mean, that you got to be on it for that band. Phew, that is nonstop, some left brain shizzle. I tell you what. Oh my God, Andrew says his AC50 weighs about 50 pounds. Jeez.
Ah,
Well, Andrew,
Oh,
you are a strapping young man. That you can handle that, but now that you got a 3 pound amp, there you go. Well, let's see. Unless anybody wants to join in, I will start talking about the sponsors and wrap this
yeah.
up.
let's do it.
Oh, you know what I wanted to say? You were talking about social media. The thing about these 24 modules, too, is all the teachers want to take each other's classes.
Totally.
Oh, 100%. Yes, I'm very excited to learn.
Yep.
I really want your social media class because sometimes when I'm posting on social media, I just want to put a shotgun in my mouth. So,
I got you, Jennifer. Don't worry. It's going to be good. We're going to take a step at a time. It's going to be great.
Baby,
go ahead.
I just said baby steps. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway. Sweetwater, the best online retailer on earth for those that live away from Indiana, where they're located, is going to be a sponsor, which I'm thrilled about that, and not just because of the Tootsie Rolls. Every time you get a package in the mail, you get that Laffy Taffy and some Tootsie Rolls, and sometimes I weaken. But
And some what are those called? The Smarties. Every once
Yeah.
in a while you'll get some Smarties.
yeah, they have a model that has worked so well and is so different from a lot of retailers and online sellers. Is their customer service is unsurpassed. They will be checking on you. They will make sure that you're happy with your gear. They have a great return policy, and you get your own rep that checks in on you and makes sure that you're cool with stuff, or if you need training. It's phenomenal. In a world that customer service seems to be going down and down and down, they really stand out. Fishman is going to be on board. I've been with them for several years. I use their pickups. I got the modern in the bridge and their Strat set in the middle and neck, and also the Fishman triple play wireless MIDI system. And I'm going to be doing a module on Intro to Guitar Synth, which seems really daunting to a lot of people. It seems like a lot of manual reading, but they've dumbed it down for us, thankfully. And the speed is unsurpassed. Back when I was with Jeff Beck 20 years ago, you couldn't solo with a guitar synth. The lag was so horrible. But now, instead of bringing this big tank on the road and modules and all this, all the sounds are in a laptop. And you just trigger from a guitar. You can go wirelessly, or you can use their new one called Connect that goes to an iPad. And it's so great for songwriting because you got every sound in the world. You could trigger drums on one section of your neck and bass on another, and I'll tell you more about it in October. Positive Grid, the makers of the Spark amp, that is a game changer. I've been watching a lot of videos on the Spark, and I got one on the way. We're all going to be checking it out. Gretchen's ahead of us. She's been checking that out and was telling it sounds sci-fi is what it is. You can bring in YouTube videos and play along, and it will spit out the chords in the song. It's phenomenal, next level tech. Audix, I fell in love with their i5 microphone last year, and it's a little early to be telling about their giveaways, but they've been working on some stuff for 2 years that they're launching in October, so we might be the first to be able to use it. Tell them about the Luna guitar, Vicki.
Oh, Luna's got a guitar called the Fauna Phoenix, which is a beautiful black guitar with this beautiful phoenix inlay on it. And I've been working with Luna for a long, long time, and their guitars are, they're pieces of art as well as super easy to play. There's always a thinner, a little bit narrower specs on the neck, which just makes it just that little bit much. I was watching you play, Angela. I've always wanted to be able to play my frickin' minor 7 chords with my thumb. Always wanted to be doing. My friend in high school, Jonathan Burton, could do that, and it leaves all these fingers available. And
yes, it's handy.
I have a hard time with that. So it's like the Luna necks are really beautiful for that, being able to do that. and it's got a pickup in it. It's got a Fishman in it, and it's they're just beautiful instruments. So Luna's donating a guitar. We're going to be giving it away to one lucky person.
That's fantastic. Joby wants to know if there's any new Roses and Cigarettes material in the works.
Well, unfortunately, my bandmate passed away about a year and a half ago, Jenny Pagliaro. She was an awesome rock and roller. She was great. Miss her every day. But you can check out, we have music on Spotify, and you can go there and listen a bunch. But yeah. Think about her every day. Think about her every day. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Life is fragile.
Life is fragile, my friends. Hug those you love dearly and let them know.
I was just about to add that.
Yep.
Taytrix is on board again. Taytrix makes gobos for recording, so you could literally have a drummer in your apartment and not piss off your neighbors. You want to tell them about that, Vicki?
Yeah, so the gobos are these acoustical panels that you can stack, and you can create walls, you can create amp enclosures, you can create entire rooms. And they're just these incredible, they're not 100% soundproofing rooms or anything, but they are incredible when you're especially recording. And there's some plexiglass. You can get them with plexiglass or fabric or wood. And I can't tell you how many times I've been in recording situations where, you know, I'm right face to face with somebody else playing with me. We've got a gobo wall in front of us. We can see everything. And our microphones are completely isolated. So when we come out of that recording, everything is completely separate. It's really a beautiful system. So there's all kinds of configurations that can be done. Plus, Taytrix also just does all kinds of studio design and building. Taytrix.com.
Yeah, if you go to Taytrix.com, on the homepage, you'll see a really cool time-lapse video of all the different things, different configurations, like Legos, how you can take the panels and turn them into various things. David Wallimann is helping us out. He's a champion for all that is guitar, and he's got a really great YouTube channel where he teaches and breaks things down into bite-sized chunks. Transcribe is an app I want to marry. Vicki tells me I can't marry an app, but I still want to marry it. I'm doing a module on that. I think it's the strongest program out there to help you learn music. It's way more beyond just a slow downer. It's the coolest thing ever. Stage Ninja.
Ooh.
Stage Ninja is a company that has retractable cables and also iPhone and iPad clips, and I use them all the time. I got clips all over here whenever I need to go live or film. I got clips on top of my hair so I can do the downward motion so people can see the top of my neck. I'm going to get a helmet, honestly, so I can do that, because I was trying to show a student the other day how to do the harp harmonics, and trying to see it through Zoom is really difficult because your hand is in front of what you're doing. Yeah. So to have a camera that can face down, all of a sudden he could understand what I was doing.
That's a great angle. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
To figure out.
The neck helmet. Cordial Cables is a cable company I've joined recently, and perhaps we'll all jump on board soon. They've been very supportive, and it's, I tell you, I have had very expensive cables in my life, and 9 times out of 10, they fall apart. The tips will fall apart. And when I saw these come in, I go, oh, okay, I can take these anywhere in the world. They can get super beat up, and they're never going to fall apart. So I'm a believer. TrueFire.com is Vicki and I both record instructionals for them, and they are going to be an ongoing sponsor, giving away 90-day all-access passes to every student that signs up. And talk about smorgasbord. It's like, what, 4,000 courses or 34,000? It's just mind-boggling. 40,000 courses by everybody from Robin Ford, Carl Verheyen, you name it.
Jennifer Batten.
Yeah, buddy. And Locket Straps is going to be giving away 4 or 5 straps, and I've been using them for years. And it's instead of having external hardware that you have to drill into your guitar because the screw is bigger than your end strap, It's a spring-loaded snap that will keep your guitar secure. So that is super cool. So any more questions? Boy, people are shy out there. I guess we're going to wrap it up. October 16 to 19, you can save $50 if you sign up before October 9th. And we do have some sponsorships that we'll be announcing by October 1st. So, say it again.
Did you mean scholarships or
Did I say sponsorships again?
Yeah, they're easy to confuse.
Those, oh, just shoot me. I need
It's
to
the,
have
it's the same syllables. It's all good. It's all right.
Yeah, same number of syllables. Words are overrated, but I won't go there.
So we've had some wonderful sponsors who are actually offering scholarships. So there will be some scholarships via some of our sponsors.
With scallops.
With scallops, probably.
I'm in.
Scholarships.
That sounds delicious.
Okay, so everybody head on over to GuitarCloudSymposium.com. You can check out videos, you can check out bios. We all have samplers of our audio. Once again, Gretchen will be joining us, Gretchen Men, and we are just going to have hoot. It's going to be a hoot nanny, number 2. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, on the Monday, it's basically a big party. We're going to be streaming a little bit of it. Andy Timmons is going to be joining us, but unless you're a student, you don't get to hang out with Andy. The Monday is when we give away all the goodies that the sponsors have provided. So that was so much fun last time, and not just because I had an entire bottle of champagne here. It was
Oh my gosh.
it's so cool though. You get in it had exactly what we wanted was a real community feel. And we have a members only Facebook page that people are active on, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. And yeah, what more can you ask for when we're locked down and can't leave our homes?
Yeah. And one more quick thing. I've got a Thursday morning show, 12 noon every Thursday, Front Porch Thursdays. And this week, Angela's going to come and visit us and give us a little slide demo. So
It'll be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be on my Facebook page, Vicki Genfan, facebook.com/Vicki Genfan.
And then Friday, I'll be hanging out with Jennifer on my Instagram Q&A. So 6 p.m. Pacific time. Come and hang out with us. Have your questions ready. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're going to be streaming all over the place for the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to think if I could compile a calendar so people could see it instead of just trying to remember this and that. I'm on it. I'll think about it.
You're on it.
Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time.